Headlines is sponsored by Wonder Cement. एक perfect शुरुआत.
Sharjeel Imam named as an instigator in the charge sheet filed by Delhi Police in Jamia and New Friends Colony violence case. Delhi Police also mentions Popular Front of India and says its role is also being examined. External Affairs Ministry issues fresh travel advisory for Indian nationals wishing to travel to Iraq. MEA advises Indian nationals may now consider travelling to the country except 5 provinces of Nineveh, Salahuddin, Diyala, Anbar and Kirkuk in Iraq due to the prevailing security situation. Financial Action Task Force says several terrorist groups continue to benefit from illegal funds raised despite tightening of standards. The week-long FATF plenary in Paris will decide Pakistan's fate on whether it will be put in the blacklist or not. Death toll due to coronavirus crosses 1,800 in China. Japan to start trials using HIV treatment for coronavirus. In India, 302 out of 406 persons released who were brought from Wuhan and kept in quarantine at ITBP facility near Delhi. In sports, Lionel Messi and Lewis Hamilton are the joint winners of Sportsman of the Year at Laureus Awards, while Simon Biles bags the Sportswoman of the Year. Sachin Tendulkar World Cup triumph at home in 2011 receives Best Laureus Sporting Moment. Asian Wrestling Championship to begin in New Delhi today. Championship will have a total of 30 weight classes, 10 each in freestyle men, women and Greco-Roman.
Headlines was sponsored by Wonder Cement. एक perfect शुरुआत.
Hello, you're watching DD News and I'm Preeti presenting the bulletin. Our top story first. Delhi Police has filed a charge sheet in the December 15th violence that took place in Jamia Millia Islamia and New Friends Colony area. Police have named JNU student Sharjeel Imam in the charge sheet as an instigator. The police filed the charge sheet on February 13th. And according to the charge sheet, the police found empty bullet cartridges belonging to 3.2 mm pistol on the spot. No Jamia student has been named in the charge sheet. Police has also revealed that it is still investigating the CCTV footage, call detail records and statements of over 100 witnesses attached as evidence. Police also are examining the role of political party Popular Front of India in instigating the violence. Ministry of External Affairs has issued an advisory for Indian nationals travelling to Iraq. The advisory says that Indian nationals may now consider travelling to the country except to the 5 provinces of Iraq, namely Nineveh, Salahuddin, Diyala, Anbar and Kirkuk. Indian nationals are advised not to travel to the above listed 5 provinces in Iraq as these remain unsafe. Those Indian nationals wishing to travel for employment may return to their jobs in safe areas in Iraq other than those listed above as unsafe areas, and also inform the Embassy of India in Baghdad or the Consulate General of India in Erbil prior to travelling to Iraq. Now, those Indian nationals wishing to travel for religious purposes may also travel for pilgrimage to the holy places of Najaf and Karbala. They should not extend their religious pilgrimage to the neighbouring Syria and not travel by road from Iraq to Syria. The FATF had yesterday said that several terrorist groups continue to benefit from the funds raised through illegal activities and from supporters worldwide, despite the international terror financing watchdog tightening the standards on flow of money. India has maintained that Pakistan extends regular support to terror groups like Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed and Hizbul Mujahideen, whose prime target is India, and has urged FATF to take action against Islamabad. The week-long Financial Action Task Force plenary is currently on in Paris and will decide whether Pakistan continues on the FATF's grey list or is put in the blacklist. FATF is an intergovernmental body established in 1989 to combat money laundering, terrorist financing and other related threats to international financial system. It has 39 members and 2 regional organizations, the European Commission and the Gulf Cooperation Council. India is a member of the FATF and the Asia Pacific Group. If Pakistan continues on the grey list, it will be difficult for the country to get financial aid from IMF, World Bank, ADB and the European Union, thus further enhancing problems for the nation, which is in a precarious financial situation. The death toll from China's coronavirus epidemic climbed to 1,868 this morning as 98 more people died, while the total number of confirmed cases jumped to 72,436. Of the new deaths, 93 were reported from Hubei province, the epicenter of the virus, 3 from Henan and 1 each from Hebei and Hunan. Hubei reported 1,807 new confirmed cases, taking the total number of such cases to 59,989 in the province. Another 1,432 new suspected cases were reported from the rest of China. In a tragic turn of events, the president of Wuhan's Wuchang Hospital, Liu Ziming, died at the age of 51 from the novel coronavirus pneumonia. Wuchang Hospital was among the first designated to treat infections related to the epidemic. Liu had led the medical staff in the fight against the virus. Chinese authorities said that as of February 11th, more than 1,700 medical workers have been infected and 6 have died. The World Health Organization has meanwhile warned against blanket measures over novel coronavirus outbreak, pointing out the epidemic outside of China was only affecting a tiny proportion of the population. WHO also said that with a mortality rate of around 2%, COVID-19 was less deadly than other coronaviruses such as severe acute respiratory syndrome, that is SARS, or Middle East respiratory syndrome, that is MERS. WHO officials rejected the suggestions that all cruises should be halted to avoid risking a new nest of infection like the one on coronavirus hit Diamond Princess off the Japanese coast. Until 1 p.m. today, a total of 302 people out of 406 who were brought back from Wuhan and housed at an ITBP quarantine facility in Shavla have been released. All 406 have been tested negative for novel coronavirus in the latest sample examination and are being discharged in a phased manner. Now, it is likely that all 406 will be released by tomorrow early morning from the ITBP Shavla Center. All released persons are advised to remain self-isolated for the next 14 days at their respective places. They are also advised for do's and don'ts during the period. Many of the people who were told that they would be allowed to go from the center celebrated the moment with an impromptu dance and music show. A total of 650 people were brought back from Wuhan in China on 1st and 2nd of February in 2 747 Boeing Air India aircrafts after the outbreak of the novel coronavirus in China. While 406 of these are being looked after at the ITBP facility, rest are at an army center at Manesar in Haryana. Japan plans to trial HIV medications to treat patients infected with coronavirus as the growing number of cases poses an increasing threat to the country's economy as well as public health. A total number of confirmed infections in Japan stood at 520 as on Monday, including 454 cases from Diamond Princess cruise ship quarantined off the Yokohama port. Tokyo's HIV treatment trials come as those drugs have been touted as a potential cure for coronavirus around the world. People in China have begun exploring unorthodox ways to obtain treatments, with some appealing to HIV patients and unauthorized importers for medicine. In Thailand, meanwhile, doctors say that they have appeared to have had some success in treating severe cases of coronavirus with a combination of medications for flu and HIV. The Supreme Court adjourned the petition filed by fugitive liquor baron Vijay Mallya against the proceedings initiated by Enforcement Directorate to seize his assets in India. The next proceedings will be held in March. In the petition filed last year, Mallya submitted that no properties other than those related to Kingfisher Airlines, which is facing cases of alleged irregularities, should be attached. And up next, stories from the forthcoming visit of US President Donald Trump to India. President Donald Trump will be in India on his first bilateral visit from 24th of February. Prime Minister Modi will host him at New Delhi and Ahmedabad over the two-day visit. From Howdy Modi in Houston to Namaste Trump in Ahmedabad, the bonhomie between President Trump and Prime Minister Modi will add another leaf to the India-US ties.
He's a friend of mine. He's a great gentleman, and I look forward to going to India, so we'll be going at the end of the month.
President Trump reciprocating India's Namaste Trump call. This will be his first bilateral visit to India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will host President Trump in Ahmedabad as well as New Delhi on the 24th and 25th of February. The two leaders have spoken twice over the phone in 2020.
I just spoke with Prime Minister Modi, and it's going to be very, I don't know who's going, but he said we will have millions and millions of people. My only problem is, so last night we probably had 40 or 50,000 people, far more than anyone else, but when we have 50,000 people nowadays, fellas, I'm not going to feel so good, because he thinks we'll have 5 to 7 million people just from the airport to the new stadium.
Over the past 3 years, President Trump and Prime Minister Modi have developed a personal rapport and met 4 times in 2019, including the historic joint address before a strong 50,000 crowd of Indian Americans at the Howdy Modi event in Houston.
It is my honor and privilege to welcome here Mr. Donald Trump. This is extraordinary. This is unprecedented. I present to you my friend, a friend of India, a great American president, Mr. Donald Trump.
Like the Howdy Modi event in Houston, Namaste Trump event will be held at the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Stadium or Motera Stadium after it is inaugurated by the US President on February 24th. Being built at an estimated cost of $100 million, the Motera Stadium, with a seating capacity of 110,000 spectators, will be the world's largest cricket stadium, overtaking the Melbourne Cricket Ground in Australia. A visit to the Sabarmati Ashram is also likely.
हमको बहुत ही आनंद है कि डोनाल्ड ट्रंप जी भी यहाँ पधार रहे हैं और उनका अच्छे से स्वागत भी करेंगे आंटी पहनाकर.
On his first trip to the US in his second term as Prime Minister, Narendra Modi was in the US between 21st to 27th September 2019. Apart from addressing the annual UN General Assembly session, the Prime Minister held a bilateral meeting with President Trump.
Because the two leaders pull on so well together, which is very rare actually when you're looking into leaders of such different countries and such different capacities and such different mindsets, but they are totally at ease with each other, and I think that's a very important component.
Sure.
The second thing, I think it'll do wonders for both the countries. I mean, we are natural allies. We are democracies. Our people like each other. And I think that's something which we need to build on.
The highlight of this visit was, of course, the Howdy Modi event in Houston. It was one of the largest ever receptions of a foreign leader in the United States. Addressing the gathering, PM Modi had hit out at Pakistan for its support to terrorism and said that India's decision to nullify Article 370 has caused trouble to those who cannot handle their own country. President Trump, on his part, vowed to protect innocent civilians from the threat of radical Islamist terrorism. From a trade deal to enhancing strategic ties and the people-to-people connect, President Trump's maiden bilateral visit to India is likely to be high on both optics and outcomes.
There are increasing convergences between India and the US and a broad basis for the relationship. So that helps the leaders also to build a closer relationship. I think President Trump is going into an election year, so some of the public events will clearly be also with a mind to his domestic constituency and how it plays out in the US.
Right. I think two areas where they converge is, one is at the Indo-Pacific, as far as we are concerned, really the Indian Ocean region.
True.
And the second is on counter-terrorism. Now, there are two absolute convergent areas where the two countries are destined to cooperate, and I think we are going to see some movement here when the talks take place.
And of course, the personal rapport between the two leaders will be there for all to see. Bureau Report, DD News.
From the 13th Conference of Parties, COP, of the Convention on Conservation of Migratory Species of Wild Animals being held at Gandhinagar in Gujarat. Now, speaking exclusively with DD News, Secretary, Ministry of Environment C.K. Mishra spoke about India's role at COP13 and also what all will be the agenda of the country at the forum there.
सेंट्रल एशियन फ्लाईवे हमारा प्रमुख मुद्दा रहेगा. हम बहुत जोर से इस बार मरीन लिटर का मुद्दा लोगों के सामने रखेंगे, क्योंकि मरीन लिटर एक विशेष कर के प्लास्टिक के पृष्ठभूमि में बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण इशू बन गया है. और हम चाहते हैं कि इस तरह के जो देश हैं, आसियान के जो देश हैं, में जो देश हैं, सब मिलके मरीन लिटर पे काम करें. तो वो एक हमारा दूसरा मुद्दा होगा. तीसरा जो हम बहुत मजबूती से रखना चाहेंगे कि जो कॉरिडोर्स हैं जानवरों के, जो दूसरे देश की बाउंड्री से लगते हैं, सुंदरबंस हैं, एलिफेंट कॉरिडोर्स हैं, इस तरह के जो कॉरिडोर्स हैं उसमें कैसे बायलैटरली द्विपक्षीय रूप से दो देश मिलकर काम कर सकते हैं.
And taking cue from Prime Minister Narendra Modi's ambitious Namami Ganga plan, villagers of Kodiyala in Karnataka have pledged to clean Tunga Bhadra river, which is the source of water for hundreds of villagers in Haveri district. Let's hear the story. On one side of the river, one can see loads of plastic, and on the other side, hundreds of students trying to clean up the river. This is from Kodiyala village in Ranibenur Taluk of Haveri district in Karnataka. Tunga Bhadra river is the source of water for hundreds of villages in Haveri district for both drinking purpose as well as for irrigation. Kodiyala Gram Panchayat, taking cue from Prime Minister Narendra Modi's ambitious Namami Ganga plan, has started Namami Tunga project to clean up the river stretch in their village. Every Saturday, Shram Dhan is undertaken under the banner Namami Tunga. Several Anganwadi workers, Asha workers and school children can be seen participating in this program. One of the students, Sudev, believed that the river is getting polluted because of plastic and sewage waste, which needs to be stopped to prevent diseases from spreading.
River is an important source for us to drinking water, and it's also an important source for agriculture nearby surroundings. And if we use polluted water for drinking and using for agriculture, we also are affecting for us. So for animals also it is getting affected. So to avoid this all, we should all clean our surroundings, and we should avoid these all pollutions. These days we are doing this campaign under the slogan Swachh Bharat, and this is a very good encouraging for all, that we should always clean our natural resources and save it for the future for the other peoples.
Children and teachers are participating in the Shram Dham enthusiastically with the motive to clean the river. Already 2 kilometers of the river stretch has been cleaned up because of the voluntary services of children, Asha worker and villagers. Zilla Panchayat member Mangala Gauri appealed all to join the movement in saving the Tunga river. It is commendable that efforts are being made at village level to protect environment and save the river from continuous pollution. Bureau Report, TD News. February 2020 marks the 75th anniversary of the Battle of Iwo Jima, which is one of the bloodiest fighting during World War II, which took place on a small Japanese island. Now, nearly 7,000 US Marines and about 21,000 Japanese defenders died in the 36-day battle. The island, located halfway between Tokyo and Guam, was regarded as a strategic outpost. The battle is thought to have claimed nearly 30,000 lives. More than two-thirds of them were Japanese. The Japanese troops defended the island for more than a month using a war run of tunnels and caves and commanding the island's highest point at Mount Suribachi. The island reverted to Japanese rule from the United States in 1968, and since then it has been home to about 400 Japanese Navy and Air Force personnel who operate a landing strip. Let's talk of sports now. Formula One champion Lewis Hamilton and Barcelona forward Lionel Messi were declared joint winners of the Laureus World Sportsman of the Year award in Berlin on Monday, with the voting tied for the first time in the award's 20-year history. Hamilton won his 6th World Championship in 2019 with 11 race wins and 17 podium finishes, while Messi was crowned the world's best player for a record 6th time when he won the Ballon d'Or. Now, United States gymnast Simone Biles scooped the World Sportswoman of the Year award for the 2nd year running. The World Team of the Year went to South Africa's men's rugby team following their victory at the 2019 World Cup in Japan. Former Indian batsman Sachin Tendulkar, the highest run scorer of all times in international cricket, had the support of cricket-crazy fans to win a fan vote for the award for the best sporting moment from the last 2 decades. In his 6th and final One-Day International World Cup in 2011, Tendulkar finally got his hands on the title as India won on home soil, and he was carried on his teammates' shoulders for a lap of honour.
To be holding this trophy, I would like to thank the Laureus Academy members for giving this memory to me. I think this is really special.
And Mexico is grappling with an acute shortage of essential medicines to fight cancer for parents of patients like 5-year-old kid Hermes Soto. The ordeal is compounded by fears of another round of shortages in the supply of the life-saving drug for cancer treatment across Mexico, and that has been imperiled by shortages following a procurement shake-up by President Lopez Obrador's government, with centralized drug purchases to reduce corruption and overpricing. Sporadic shortages of medicines predate Lopez Obrador, but the rise in protests from parents is a sign the problem has worsened. Childhood cancer is the 2nd highest cause of death among children in Mexico, according to official figures. Each year, an average of 2,300 children die, and there were 7,500 new cases reported. The shortages are also impacting non-cancer patients, including children who underwent organ transplants. And always there are 2 ways to deal with tough times. One, which is the most common, that is to adjust with the changing ways and pray for the best. And the second is, which few have the flair to practice, to make the most of it and continue celebrating the gift of life. One such man who has shown that life should be lived to the fullest is Abdullah Mohammed from Syria. Daily airstrikes and bombs prompted Abdullah Mohammed to come up with a new way to help his daughter Salwa adapt to the sounds of war. He encourages the 3-year-old to simply laugh whenever she hears the sound of bombs or missiles. He manages to convince her that these noises are similar to the sounds of fireworks and that they are nothing to be scared of. He hopes for proper education for his daughter in the near future, but till then, he has already imparted one valuable lesson to Salwa, that life is beautiful and every moment should be lived to the fullest.
لا قذيفي قذيفي
احنا قصيدة المضحك
كيف ضحك معه قذيفي
All right, on that beautiful note, we'll end the bulletin here. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.